Hi there everyone. Right, as usual, just got to wait a couple of seconds just while I try and get a feed on my phone. It will kick in a minute. Just to explain what we're using tonight. We're doing using a stamp set called Music from the Heart, and it's this one. It's in the spring summer mini catalogue, which is retiring at the end of May, well, early June. And this is on the retiring list. It's not carrying over, unfortunately, which I'm really sad about, but I did have a feeling it wouldn't. Still not going to feed. Let's see. So I can't see if any of you are watching yet, but I'm just going to carry on talking. So yeah, this is not carrying over, and it's got no dies or anything matching it. It's just a stamp set, but it's retailing for £16, and it's not been reduced yet. I'm hoping it might be reduced, but it hasn't at the moment. So I'm not going to feed. Oh, might be going to feed. Hold on. No. Here we are. Lovely. Hello, whoever's there. Oh, it's Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Hope you're well. Just explaining about this set, Music from the Heart. Yeah, it's £16. And obviously, I used to play music quite a lot on my piano and keyboard. I don't do it so much now, although I'm trying to learn a bit of piano. But yeah, I just love this set. It's good for all ages, male, female. My cards tonight are probably more female orientated, but you could make one of them definitely more, well, both of them more male, actually. Hi, Wanda. So yeah, just explain about this set. £16. It's really good value set. It is photopolymer. But anyway, I shall crack on. But yeah, it's in the clearance last chance deals on my website, which I shall put links on afterwards. So we've got two cards tonight. We've got this one, which is with a technique called Joseph's Coat. I haven't done it for a while, so I had a go at doing this. So we'll be starting with this one. And this one is easel card, piano easel card. And it isn't my design. I did case it off somebody. So when it lays flat, it just looks, it's just flat. You get a little bit of a ridge there, which I'd perhaps use thicker cardstock actually next time. Hi Susan, hope you're well. So yeah, it just folds up into a piano, and this, which is very clever. I've got you the screen, not the screen, it's the sheet music. Went right out of my head. Holds the card up in place, so it's just quite clever. And you've obviously got the keyboard. Quite easy to make. It looks more complicated than it looks, so I'll be explaining that as well. I haven't done an easel card for a while, so I thought I'd do that as well. So anyway, without further ado, I shall crack on. Put that to the side. So yeah, this one's Joseph's Coat technique, and obviously the theme is rainbows. Is really big at the moment, so I wanted to do a kind of a rainbow theme, but not too obvious. So I've done hopefully you can see that it's like in bands of colour of the rainbow going up, and we're going to start doing that. Normally, when you do this card, you would well, I'll explain when I do it. You would use circular motions and you'd do kind of patchy areas, but I'm going to be doing it in stripes for the colours of the rainbow, basically. So I've got my layers cut out, and I shall put them on my blog tomorrow. I didn't get round to doing my blog last week, I have to say. One thing or other. Hi, Laura, how are you? So yeah, that's the right one. I just want to check. So yeah, I'm just going to use my sponge daubers and do all of the colours of the rainbow. So I've got these. These are not Stampin' Up ones, although we do sell them, I have to say. But yeah, this is a little box, so I'll just put that to the side. And we start with real red. So just going to, probably would have been handy if I'd have done some of this. Hi Bev, how are you? So you could have measured it out and do your 7 bands, but I'm just gonna kind of guess. It doesn't matter if some are thicker than others. I'm going to mess my paper up underneath. So yeah, just put plenty of colour on. Let's get that colour going. So that's our red one. Got to remember the colours of the rainbow now. Red, Richard of York, so orange. Pumpkin pie. Sorry, that colour was real red that I just used. This one is pumpkin pie, which obviously is not orange. Oh, that's more been used, more of a yellow. It's really good. I label all my stamp sponge daubers with the colour, and I never end up using them for the right colour. You can actually wash them out. I might do that one day. Yes, Laura, that's lovely that you've caught me. Hope you've been getting a chance to craft. That's a pumpkin pie one. A And then we're going to go on to crushed curry. You could use Daffodil Delight, whatever you've got really, but crushed curry is a little bit more of a deeper yellow, I guess. Could have used Pineapple Punch, one of the new the in colours that's going very soon. That would have been a bit punchy, quite vibrant. Hello Leslie, how are you? So you know, so yeah, just do, I don't know how big these bands are. I did actually forget to bring my ruler up. I was going to bring that up and I forgot. But yeah, it doesn't matter as long as you just get a good band of colour going on. That's yellow. A bit more on my multimeter. There's no green. But say normally you would do patches of colour and probably not this many, all sort of all over, and you get like a, well, I suppose more like a Joseph's coat. I don't know, more just different. I've never done this in stripes before, but I thought it worked quite well. Ha, you're slim. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're Slim and World consultant, aren't you? Hope that's going well for you. I know it's very difficult at the moment for everybody. Several of my class ladies, Slim and World, go to Slim and World. I used to several years ago. Now you'll notice my stripes are not exactly level, but it really doesn't matter. And that green one's quite wide, but never mind. I do love Granny Apple Green, one of my favourites. Blue, so we're using Blueberry Bushel, which yet again is one of the in colours that will be leaving us very shortly. Yeah, it is hard for everyone. But thank goodness for Zoom, hey? That's how I'm doing my classes at the moment, through Zoom. And I'm doing okay, proving quite popular, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm definitely going to have to be using them in the future, I think, so all is good with that. Yeah, now I have to admit, but oh god, lights. Violet and indigo is a little bit not colours with I could get really near violet and indigo, so I'm using Gorgeous Grape for the violet. If I've got it the right way around, whatever colour's next. Just two different purples, really. Oh, and I need to go a bit wider to make sure. So you can see, creating the colours of the rainbow. Yeah, it sure has. Yeah, apparently WhatsApp are bringing out a very similar thing. I don't know whether, yeah, don't know the logistics of it all. But yeah, I've had quite a very long Zoom calls with team members, friends. It has been a godsend. I mean, obviously we got video call as well on Facebook, but I do like Zoom. It's very good for this because I can still show people and demo what I'm doing with having two cameras set up, so it's really good. Yeah, so not exactly even, but not a big problem. I would spend more time if I was doing it not on a Facebook Live. Let's just put them to the side. Oh gosh, right, so you can see all the bands of colour. And then next we're going to go in with the musical notes. You can see on here I've got treble clef, semi-quaver. Yeah, no, is it a semi-quaver? I should know my notation. Yeah, there's no crotchets on there, unless, yeah, should know, but oh, my brain's gone today. So Embossing Buddy. So as you all know, Embossing Buddy just stops all the fingerprint marks and any other grease or anything really picking up. And these are retiring as well. So if you haven't got one and you're, you know, it's a good idea to get them. They last for years. this is a new one because my other one has just given up the ghost almost, but I've had it for like 5 years, so it served me well. So then we're just going to go all over with the notes, but you won't probably be able to see much, and then we're going to cover it in clear embossing powder, and I will probably have to powder some of it as I go because there's a lot. Hi, Michaela. Yeah, you have. So yeah, doing the Joseph's coat technique tonight, which I haven't done in a long while, so I thought I would have a go at doing that in the rainbow colours. So here we go, treble clef. I'm not putting anything straight. I like it on the half. I'll put a couple of them down, and then some notes. I want to try and make sure I get something in every band of colour. And what I'm going to do is put the powder on so I can actually see. And hopefully you might be able to see it. Oh yeah, you can see it just, can't you? Where I've gone. So put some. Yeah, so I'm powdering as I go because it's quite. It probably would stay wet for quite a long while, but just to make sure. One more treble clef. Gosh, Sarah, throwing it around. And then the one with the heart on. So I think we've got pretty much something in every band of colour. Let's squeeze a few more on. Could have done it with a small crochet actually, but I haven't got it out, so I'll get by with this. No, it is a very good technique. It sounds slightly different to what you'd normally do it with the rainbow bands, but I thought it would work. And I had a go and it did, so yeah. Just going to put, yeah, I really would like the crochet, but now I'll tell you what we'll do with the heart, and we'll just go off. Get it nice and covered. Yeah, that will do, I think. So, just gonna have to put up with a little bit of noise while I use my heat gun. It shouldn't take long. Right, bear with while I do the heat gun then. You can see it start to turn. You won't be able to see it quite so well. It'll go glossy. Oh, you can still see it, that's good. There we go. So yeah, I think you can probably guess what's going to happen next. So next we have to go over with a darker colour, Generally, I usually use a brownie colour, early espresso, but for this, I think I wanted a little bit darker, so I did use my black, my Memento black. So, and as you, we're going to use the brayer that I often use, and just go over it. So I'll just show. So for anybody who doesn't know, when we use the brayer, it might look like I'm doing that. I'm actually stroking it forward and picking it up every time. Otherwise you won't get good coverage, but I just do it so quickly sometimes you can't see what I'm actually doing. And then we're just going to go over the colours. And what happens, because you've put the clear embossing on, the black actually won't cover that, so the colours underneath show through, and that's how you get the look. And then we just buff it off at the end with a tissue so the colours shine really brightly through. So yeah, just roll the colour on, building it up as dark as you want to go. Basically I want to make sure I had all the colours covered. I didn't want the bands of colour as such showing through. I didn't want to see the lines where they, so it might take a while. Should have had one, here's one I made earlier, but yeah, this really is a fantastic set, fantastic value for £16 I think, and very good if you've got any musicians in the family. Quite easy to fussy cut around the piano and everything. It looks intricate, but it's not too bad, it's quite easy. I'm just going to switch it around. I've actually got oh, look, the paper looks pretty. Oh, sorry, I've moved my camera again. At times I keep doing that. And I thought I had, right. I must watch that. That must be my head. So yeah, just build the colour up. This works really well with flower or floral images, especially if they're quite blocky. It's just one of those good techniques that you just have to have a play with lots of different stamps really. Yeah, hopefully you can see that I'm nearly getting rid of those bands of colour. Not quite. I probably won't do too much, but I would generally usually make sure I get rid of all that so there's no ridges and lines, which you can do just by building the colour up more and more and more. But yeah, paper's rather messy now. That's moved again. That is moving on its own, it must be. I have to get somebody to watch. It could be the table, maybe jogging the table and making it move. Right, I think that'll do. It's pretty black, you can see. Can't see the lines too much, so I'm happy with that. Messy fingers. So we'll put them to the side. Yeah, and that's basically it. As I say, you get a little bit of tissue or paper, whatever you can find, and just buff it up a little bit. You'll see some of the black comes off. It just helps bring that colour out a little bit more. You want it off. You don't want the ink on the embossing. Yeah, much brighter. You might not be able to see it, but yeah, I can see that it brightens it up quite a bit. There. And you've got your rainbow colours. But as I say, obviously it doesn't have to be rainbow colours. You can work with anything, any colours you like, and do do whatever you like really with your daubers or different other methods. Right, that's my card base. So I thought it needed a nice white border around it, only a very slim one. So I've cut a white layer. That gets very messy. So just with my glue. Yeah, bit of a change in weather, isn't it, ladies? To what we have been having. Oh, thank you, Leslie. So it's a very good technique to have in your arsenal. It doesn't have to be clear. You can use it with gold and other colours, silver and everything, but obviously the colours don't shine through. But it does. White's quite nice actually. It's just one of those things to have a play with. But I like the clear because the colours shine through more, or show through more. So then we'll mount it on some black. Yeah, it's been a tad. I went for a bike ride today and a little bit cold and windy, but very enjoyable though. Yeah, I can't believe how the weather just keeps changing from one thing to the next. But then, like, we do live in the UK, so I suppose we should expect it by now, really. Oh, thank you, Laura. You've never done it. Oh, okay. Well, please, I'd love to see it when you have. I know you do a lot of artistic ones, which is very good. But yeah, I hadn't. Oh, I don't know how long ago it is since I did it. It really was a long. Probably when we had Paisleys and Posies was the last time I did it, so quite a few years ago. But yeah, it's quite an effective one. One more layer. I do wonder whether you could do it with lighter colours. If you did a nice some base light colours, your neutrals or your subtles, and maybe go over with a lighter colour rather than brown or black. I haven't tried that. Maybe that's something I need to try. Hello Neil, how are you? You just flicking on again? You're going to say hello? Of course there's embossing powder everywhere now. There's a noise in it, so I'll get rid of it. Hi Alison, how are you? Right, so I have actually done all my bits to save a little bit of time. Although we're actually doing all right for time. So, yeah, you've just got quite a few images in the catalogue. In the stamp set. So you've got your keyboard. There I just stamped out and then just fussy cut around it, just hand cut it. Your piano, and then just coloured it in with Stampin' Blends. And just fussy cut around that. And on Blackberry Bliss, I did the sentiment in white embossing powder. Yeah, the music in my heart. But yeah, you've got Happy Birthday. Look, forget your trebles. I did send out quite a few cards of those to my class ladies. So yeah, it's a really good set. It's got your sentiments and your images on it. So I just glued the piano on straight down to the card. What was you thinking, Wanda? Sorry, I've gone off. I don't remember what I said now. I actually used our shimmer white for the piano. I didn't on the first card, but I did on this because I thought it'd be quite nice to have it a little bit sparkly. So sticking that straight down, and then I'm going to put the others on dimensionals. Ah, pastels, yeah. That's what I was just thinking. I've never tried it. Might be good to try. Especially with I don't know if you've got like fairy or your unicorn image maybe. Oh, they're a bit big. Yeah, I might have to cut them down a little bit. And because sometimes the dark's a little bit too dark and a little bit. I don't know, might be nice to try it with some lighter colours. If you do wonder, please let me see your card. Well, you usually do show me your card, so that's good. So, get in there. So this one I covered the piano legs because I thought they were a little bit ugly. So I thought just hook that underneath. And then a little bit of glue on the top, the foam pads underneath on the bottom piece. But yeah, I'm going to need slivers again. These will do. Good way of just using every bit of your dimensionals. Don't ever waste any part. You've got all these edges as well. They're all perfectly usable. Yeah, just want it on the bottom. Oh, and I've gone onto it on the top. Is it the bottom I want it on? Yeah. Bottom only. Huh. Jumping all over the place tonight. Right, here we go. I'm getting sticky fingers. Right, so a little bit of glue on the top. I often do this actually because you don't want too many foam pads. You want it to lay flat against on there. So you'll see in a minute what I'm doing. Just want it to lay flat against the keyboard, but still a bit of height. I'll probably put that a bit too high, but never mind. There we go. And that's finished. You can see that kind of shimmering just a little bit maybe. But yeah, love that. Just love the bright colours coming through. So that's number one. Next one is our easel card. And that's going to annoy me in case that comes off on but I've stuck it down tonight. Yeah, it is effective, Susan. So it's definitely one to try if you've got some embossing, some clear embossing powder. Excuse me, sorry. This is got embossing powder everywhere. I'll put the tissue. I'm just going to have to deal with it, aren't I? Here we go. Right, next one. Easel card. So here it is. It's not much different. We still use the same C6 card that we normally would, but there are quite a few components to it, I have to say. And I have been a little bit naughty. I did emboss a piece of my cardstock. So I did use a die cutting machine, but you could just put a straight piece of cardstock on. It doesn't have to be embossed. So that's my sheet music. I think that might be flowers. I've got a few things cut out because I say for time. So basically, for your main card, you've just got a normal C6 card, fold in half, and then you just want to almost put it in half. I think I did it 50 millimeters or 5 centimeters. I scored it across down there, and so it sits. You want it to sit like that. That's your easel. That's your easel piece. Then you cut a card front to the full size to your edge, which sticks on there, and then it just and that's how it and that's how it creates it. And then it just falls flat to go in your envelope. But it'll make sense when I do it. So on this back piece, as I say, I've got a piece of lovely lipstick, another retiring colour going soon, and this emboss and fold, which I absolutely love. Oh, and I can't remember what it's called. Oh God, come on, Alison or Wanda. Never can remember what it's called. I should have had it, but yeah, it's in the main catalogue anyway. But it is retiring. Can I do it? Yeah, I can. I'll put that on. I must admit, I did say, yeah, I did cases off somebody, but they, on this piece, they'd put the musical notes, so that it showed on this, and I didn't particularly like it, so I did it on my one, but I didn't like it, so I covered it over with this card. So you've got that. Then on this, you can see you've got to you've got to cut this out, which I'm just going to do by eye and by hand. So it may not be awfully pretty, but you just want to create a curve of a piano, like a piano would have, really. You could, if you was really, you could, I could carry on and carry it on around there, but it's just to try and create a little bit of an effect of a piano. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That'll do. And then just the my corner punch, just to do that side as well. A triple punch. And that's your top of your piano. Floral something. Yeah, I can't floral. I should know what it's called because I love it so much, but yeah, I can't remember. It is beautiful though. What are we doing next? So yeah, I think we'll do the ribbon on there next. So I just always stick a little bit of ribbon around the back of mine. If I bought my tape, yeah. I was desperately looking for some lovely lipstick ribbon, which I know I've got somewhere, but could I find it? No, so I had to use Petal Pink. So not quite matching, but hey ho. And you want to keep it quite low down because that's, you want to make sure that sticks on the cardstock. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So yeah, now I've done that, that can get stuck on straight away. Only obviously you don't want to put glue on the whole thing, but I will take this off to give a bit of extra stickiness. But yeah, so I wouldn't personally put my glue on here, I would put it on here, and then you know that you're not going to over glue it. So but easel cards, yeah, they're very, there's no end of things you can do with easel cards. Really are a versatile one. Excuse my messy area. I should have done that one first, obviously the second. So then you just put that on onto your edge, and obviously that only catches the bit that's glued. And you can see it's coming together now, but obviously we need to put the keyboard on and we need the sheet music so it'll stay up. I think it's very clever how the sheet music holds it up. So we'll do the keyboard next. Hello Kate, how are you? So this is all cut to size. I will put all the measurements on my, rather than telling you now. But obviously that's the full length, 148mm across. I think that was about 5cm from what I remember. But this, you don't want to be bombarded with a load of measurements. That just goes, oh, get that out of the way, straight on the bottom. And it kind of stays there now with the keyboard there. All, oh, hold on, no, shouldn't have done that, should I? Oops. Oh, quick, quick, quick. See, it's not because I'm not concentrating. Oh, bless you, Kate, thank you. I did, and it was fine until I nearly messed it up, but it's right, I managed to save it. Right, scratch that. We'll just quickly do the sheet music first, and then I'll get it done. So, just to go show, you know, we all make mistakes. I do quite a lot, but usually rectifiable. So this is 3 inches by 2 inches, I believe. So you can see I've just scored it a little bit there, and you'll see that because that goes underneath the card. So a few staves. This isn't strictly speaking correct if you want to be fussy about it, but oh, because obviously a treble clef is on every 5 lines, but the treble clef's a little bit big to do that. Hey Carol, how are you? And I've smudged my lines, but hey ho. should have a little bit of a gap. But I do have to say the notes are actually meant to yeah, be an actual tune, but I didn't actually, well, I know it is. It's actually Happy Birthday, if you want to work it out. Just the beginning of it. Oh, I did that in Lovely Lipstick. So treble clef in Lovely Lipstick, but yeah, you'll see it's just a little bit too big to go on just the normal stave, so I'm just putting it over the two. So strictly speaking, not exactly correct, but oh, and it hasn't come out very well. Oh well, oh sorry, I'll leave that. I will go over that in a Stampin' Right marker pen afterwards. That's easily rectified. I just haven't got one up here tonight. Not a problem. And notes. Did I get the notes out? We've got that one. I don't. Yeah, I need a crotchet out. I've got little birds in here as well. Several little birds, little hearts. There's lots of little things that are really handy. I haven't even. Oh gosh, haven't even used the guitar yet. The guitar somehow fits on with this treble clef, and you can make a guitar shape. So that's very clever as well. So going to do Happy Birthday. So it's AA. That's what those notes are. AA. And it's B. I don't know if any of you do read music. I can read the treble clef, no problem. But bass clef is another story. Yeah, and strictly speaking, that's not a proper crotchet because it should have a very straight line for a crotchet, but that's just splitting hairs. But a true musician would pick me up on it. So another A. And then D. C. And two A's again. It's moved again, sorry ladies. I'm going to have to try and watch that. Oh, this is going to be tight. Yeah, it's a little bit tight. It's a little bit messy, unfortunately, because I have smudged it a bit. So, where's my lid? Oh, good tip. Make sure that you don't, when you've got little stamp sets, because they're felt when they cling to everything, so always put them back on a big block or somewhere safe, especially when you're doing a card class, because they stick to anything and they get very easily lost. So now we can carry on putting the keyboard on. I'll put a little bit more glue on. I'm doing for time. Oh, I'm doing all right actually. So there, a little bit of, hold on, let me just work this out what I've got to do. That's going on there, that's going, yeah, bit of extra glue on there. Don't know which way to do it first really. Obviously you want it kind of in the centre. Line it up as best you can. That's it, and then that now becomes your mechanism to hold it up with. Just kind of a little bit annoyed at myself that I've smudged it, but I can probably get that off with a rubber. So yeah, there's that. Might as well do the little ribbon tie while we're at it. So what I do, you need to make sure that's flat, so you could do a bow on here if you wanted to, but that would make it even thicker. So just a little bit of a tie. And I'm going to add the rose to it, just just as a little bit of extra decoration. So yeah, there's that. So now we've just got to put the keys on. Now these were kind of measured, and I can't remember what they were, so yeah, again I'll put them on my blog tomorrow, but you just want to put them as close as possible. Yeah, I kind of measured them out so we don't end up having just one off the edge, or I hope we don't. I know I do with the black note, but hopefully not with the white. So I'm just putting it on, just a little bit of a black edge. I probably would have made it easier for myself if I hadn't have actually stuck this on, or not stuck this on actually. It's because I'm talking and not thinking while I talk, but hey ho, we'll get there. A little bit of a black line in between. I'm sure we all do things differently anyway. It's finding what works for you. Make your life easy. But yeah, you can make this card. Good thing about this card is if you didn't, apart from the sheet music, you don't really need to have this music set. You could just make this card without that. Make the piano. Oh, it's sticking. So it's a good one to have. Yeah. I know they don't look exactly straight, but hey. Oh, it's a bit long-winded. Sorry ladies, a bit boring watching me sitting here doing this, but at least I did cut them all out. That would have taken me a while. I could have done with it being a bit closer actually. And yeah, the keys aren't perfectly straight. It's quite hard sometimes to cut small pieces of card, so I find it is. Nearly there with the white keys or the ivories. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to have a odd one hanging off the end. It's all to do with the spacing. I think I've left too much gap. Yeah, I didn't probably leave so much gap in the original one. I can cut it off though. Not a problem. But yeah, get them spaced nice, probably closer like that is much nicer. I'll let that dry first before I go cutting it. So now for the black keys, the sharps and flats. So I don't know if anybody knows, but they go in 2s and 3s on a piano, on a traditional piano. You could put these on dimensionals if you wanted to, but I just chose to put them flat. Oh, and I put that the wrong way around. There's a bit of white paint on there, not white paint, white pencil. So 2s and 3s. Hi Annie, how are you? I'm not actually seeing my phone because I've got my card in front of it. That's it, I'm getting there. Oh. You caught me near the end, Annie. I guess you've had to put Ethan to bed. There we go, getting there. Another set of 2. Yeah, where's that? Had a brain blip then. So 2, and then gonna have to sneak one on the end. Is that right there? Yeah. So there we go. I shall cut the excess off in a minute. So that's pretty much there, apart from the little rose. So that's out of another set, also retiring, painted glass, which has obviously got this nice old calligraphy, like calligraphy sentiments. Just going to use a little, but yes, like stained glass window, obviously. Just going to stamp a little rose and hand cut it out. Oh, I've actually, yeah, I don't need to stamp it out because I've got one done already. But that's the rose that I've used, just to show you. I'm going to use the lovely lipstick to match the cardstock. Oh yeah, I've just realised these will go as well. These will retire. These colours. Oh, I do love lovely lipstick. I'm so sad to see it go. But we've got some lovely new colours coming. Oh, and soon my pre-order should be here in the next day. Well, hopefully it'll be here in the next couple of days. And I will do a Facebook Live to show you all my new goodies. Yeah, again, it's floral sets mostly that I've got. But I love them. So yeah, Stampin' blends. You know, these are alcohol pens, so they don't, they kind of spread a little bit. So you can blend them. Exactly what they say in the title, they blend. So they get some very good colour and effects with them. I'm just doing it really quickly though. There we go. Bit of old olive, dark and light. Thankfully they're not retiring. Old olive and granny apple green are my favourite greens. Well, I'll say that. I actually quite like mossy meadow as well. But there we go. Can actually create oh no, that was when we could, I made a Beauty and the Beast card with this. Not my design, I have to say, but that was when we had some matching vellum, which was lovely. But yeah, no longer available, unfortunately. So okay. Oh, Laura, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. I shouldn't laugh, but the amount of times I've done it. Oh dear. Oh no, I'm so sorry. You burnt your tea. I'm sure it'll taste fine. Cover it in a sauce or something, I don't know. But yeah. That's the perils of crafting, I'm afraid, ladies. Simon's had to learn to deal with it, basically. Good job he likes his food well cooked. Oh dear, so funny. Mine's usually the distraction of Facebook, I must admit. dear. Sorry, I'm not doing that on camera, am I? Yeah, obviously you could just leave the piano blank, but I just thought this just added a little bit of something to it. So dimensional on the back. Oh, you have made me laugh, Laura. I shouldn't laugh. There we go. Let's put that. Oh, and I've got to do the happy birthday, which is rather clever as well. That hides under the sheet music. So you can put that wherever you like, but just maybe over the ribbon. There we go. You could put a sentiment on here if you wanted to. Not a problem. But, oh, I bent that. So yeah, what we can do with the happy birthday, which I didn't get out. Hello, Catherine. How are you? We've had time to do some crafting as well. Right, with lovely lipstick. We'll it's just hopefully. No, it goes over a bit on this one. Maybe I made the other one a little bit longer, I don't know. But yeah, you can hide it under the sheet music. It's another little secret surprise. So happy birthday. Oh, I just got that on my fingers. Work out roughly where it's going to go, and put it underneath the. Oh, sorry, my head. That's it. Yeah, it does. Just shows just at the ends. So I must have made the card so it's slightly narrower. So there's a tip. Make sure you just check the size. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a secret. But yeah, you could easily put one on the top of them. So that's it, ladies. That's number 2 done. So what with that, I'll bring back the original one. The original one with the Joseph's coat technique. Yeah, 2 cards in 15 minutes. That's not too bad, because considering one was a fancy fold. Right, here we go. Right, hello. Oh, excuse that. That's a spot on my neck. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. It's lovely to see you. Well, not that I see you, but it's lovely that you came and saw me. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, no, I just really appreciate you all coming on and just watching me. It's lovely. It's lovely to have a chat with you all, even though it's a little bit one-sided. But yeah. Anyway, so bear in mind that set's only £16, and it's, as far as I know, yeah, I checked it this morning. It is still available in the UK, so that's good. And so I didn't check the painted glass, I have to say, but I don't know how much that is either, but that's on the retired list. Yeah, and so we've only got another couple of weeks before the new catalog is launched, so it's very exciting. And so when my order comes, I will do a Facebook Live to show you some of the lovely new products, because they are lovely. Can't wait, especially the sunflowers. I love the sunflowers. As you've probably seen, I'm a little bit obsessed with them all. You're welcome, Susan. Thank you for joining me. So yeah, when that comes, we'll do a quick Facebook Live. That'll probably be during the day, though, not in the evening. So I will see you all next week. If there are any stamp sets that are on the retiring list, because that's what I'm focusing on. Oh, thank you, Kate. Bless you. Yeah, lovely to see you as well. Or see your name come up, definitely. And yeah, retirement sets. If there's any that you want to meet up, if I've got them, please let me know, and I will do my best to work with them and just do what I can. So thank you. I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.